eternity, these gods that we worship today, we will always find ourselves empty.
Well, that's pretty tall. But I think I can do it. Actually, I'm really confident. I've been working at this pretty much forever. When I was 5, my parents enrolled me in the best kindergarten in town. Oh, they had me on the waiting list from the time I turned 1, and it cost them a crazy amount of money. But for them, it was an investment in my future. Was it a good investment? I think so. I'm always at the top or near the top of my class every single year. And all through elementary school, I worked really hard. Harder than anyone else. Grades were super important to me. Anything less than 100% drove me nuts. But then I would get those A's, and it felt so good. In middle school, I learned something else. There are these things called honors classes. They sounded fun, and I wanted to be an honors student. I took them all: math, science, English. But with extra honors comes extra work, harder tests, more homework, papers to write, projects to do. By the end of 8th grade, I felt like I was on a never-ending marathon. How I felt about myself was all wrapped up in the numbers that came across my phone screen. You have an updated grade of 93.7 in pre-algebra. I was working hard to feel good about myself, show my parents I was smart, and more than anything else, not to be like those dumb kids who struggled just to make B's. Then comes high school. Turns out, nothing you did in middle school mattered anymore. On day 1, you find yourself looking back up the ladder to this goal. For me, it was to get into an Ivy League school, which meant I needed scholarships, honors classes, straight A's, and extracurriculars. But I couldn't just be in the clubs. I needed to be president of some of them, or all of them. So I found myself climbing and climbing. Tests, clubs, elections, papers, homework, study groups, meetings, scholarship applications. Maybe this whole college experience was just a step along the way to my real need in life: success. Some days, I would make real progress towards all of this. But other days, I would lose an election, get a test back, and it wouldn't be a high A. Or miss the deadline for a scholarship. Then things would turn around. Awesome finals grades, leading clubs, killing it on projects. But the more I worked for this elusive goal, the more exhausted I was. Nights got shorter, days got longer, and friends were non-existent. I felt like I was making progress towards all of this, but at what cost? I was so stressed out I didn't even feel well anymore. So that brings me to right now. I'm not on the ground anymore, but I'm not sure I've got what it takes to get up there. And if I don't, then what was this all for?
Oh, hey. I was. What's up? I was just. I was killing a lot of people. Oh, on the game, not in real life. I'm not one of those crazy wackos. Just. It's a really good game, though. Mortal Kombat 11. You should try it sometime. It's way better than 10. The characters, the graphics, it's amazing. know what I like to do? Whatever I want. You know who doesn't get to do whatever they want to do? My parents. They've been on this sort of ladder to success their entire adult lives. They get up early, go to work, and get home with nothing to say but to complain about their bosses and their stupid jobs. Their goal was to get rich and to retire with more in the bank than the next guy. Not me. I have a better idea. Oh, check this out. It's simple, really. I have to get really good at playing video games, get some videos online of me kicking butt, and then maybe get a follower or two, a subscription. Bam! Enough money rolls in for me to wake up and do it again the next day. I've heard of this one guy online who makes $1 million just by playing video games. This is the life. I can see the world from up here. All those people down there working hard, they need to relax, slow down, and just enjoy the ride. What more could I want in life? Well, I guess there's one thing that I would want. A girl. Just one that really gets me, you know? One who supports my lifestyle of just playing video games and not working hard at all. I can imagine a lot of girls want a guy like that, right? But as it turns out, girls like guys with ambition. Guys who just try to make something of themselves. Girls want guys who care about others and not just themselves. Wait, I can be ambitious. It's not easy kicking butt at all these games or getting... It's not easy getting good at all these games or even just getting a fan base or even just making all these videos and staying on top of the lead on the field. And it's not easy just winning all these championships and getting good at every single new game that comes out. And now that I think about it, I might not even enjoy this anymore. This is really hard, and I don't think this takes me where I want to be, easy street. I never thought that it would just be so hard just to do nothing.
You know what's always seemed weird to me? People climbing the wrong ladders. They try to get to the top of whatever the thing is to elevate themselves. You know the type. They're a little too into their sport, or their hobby, or their grades, or whatever. They put all this time and energy into something that might be fun, but in the end, all it did was promote themselves, and they're worn out. Well, I'm not going to do that. In fact, I'm climbing towards something pretty important and wholesome, if you ask me. You see, this ladder gets me to a finish line where I'm whole and complete. Look, I go to church on Sundays, and I go to youth group too. In fact, I'm on the leadership team for my youth group, and I went on a mission trip last summer. We did this community service project that I led, where we went and picked weeds out of senior adults' yards. But it's not just a church thing. I joined the FCA 2 years ago and started calling my volleyball team to a higher place in their relationship with God.
And then this year, I became the president. I'm really getting somewhere. I see all these people, and they're trying to achieve things that don't matter. Not me. Look at what's behind me. Look at what I've accomplished, or rather, what God has accomplished through me. I feel so good about all of this. Then why don't I feel so good about me? I'm doing all the right things. I assumed I'd accomplish all this stuff and be able to look down and have some sense of myself, some pride in my accomplishment. I don't know. Some realization of who I am in all this. But instead, I feel like I don't even matter. I'm trying and trying, but I feel more tired than accomplished. And it seems like no one's really noticing or appreciating all that I've done. I wonder if this is even the right ladder.